You're watching the Military Channel. Go behind the lines.
Make no mistake, in dealing with aggressors in the Balkans, hesitation is a license to kill.
It is one of the world's most dangerous weapon systems, and it fights in close.
We operate in the ground regime. Just like a tank, we use the terrain to our advantage.
In the pitch black of night, in bad weather or good, the U.S. Army Apache attack helicopter can destroy anything in its path.
Good shot. Let's let us down. That'll block the road.
And it was the Apache NATO sent to challenge the Serbian army in Kosovo.
He will not be able to hide from the Apaches.
Everybody off this hill. Let's go. Off the hill, sir. The crash happened about 15 minutes ago.
But when the war was over, 2 Apache pilots were dead, and the mission was left burning in controversy. Tonight, how it all happened inside Task Force Hawk. Not long after it began, it was clear NATO's war in Kosovo was not going well. Hundreds of NATO aircraft, Navy F-18s and F-14s, Air Force B-1 bombers, B-52s, F-15s, F-16s, even the F-117 stealth fighter were launching high-altitude attacks on Serbian targets again and again. But the Serbs would not give in. Even worse, the Serbs retaliated by forcing hundreds of thousands of ethnic Albanians to leave their homes for makeshift refugee camps.
I am alone here. I have nobody here. My brothers, my parents are out there. I don't know where they are.
Serb army and police burned villages. And massacred civilians. And NATO's high-tech war was powerless to stop it. The Clinton administration decided it was finally time to call in the cavalry. U.S. Army Air Cavalry. 24 Apache attack helicopters to be sent from their base in Germany to challenge the Serbian army in close air combat for the first time. NATO officials were exuberant.
We are extremely grateful to the United States for making available this extremely important capability at the right time. There is no doubt about that, and which will significantly enhance our ability to go after those ground targets in Kosovo.
The U.S. government underscored the urgency of the Apache's mission.
When you consider the transportation challenges, probably talking about a week or so, maybe 7 to 10 days.
The Apaches were in trouble before they even arrived. They would wind up in the bankrupt former communist nation of Albania, at the Tirana airport with its single runway, its 10,000-foot-high mountains blocking the path into Kosovo, and more mud than you have ever seen. So deep that Army engineers and contractors looking for hard foundation finally found it 70 feet down.
In plain old English, it's very flat. There's essentially no slope. The drainage system that was built here 10 years ago is overgrown and pretty much non-existent.
Literally everything had to be airlifted into what was being called Camp Muddy. Hundreds of flights of Air Force C-17s, landing almost every half hour. A seemingly endless chain of supplies.
If you can imagine, this is an extremely large camping site, and all of the food, the water, the tentage, the materials that you would need to subsist for an extended period of time. And so that's why I call us the Super Kmart.
And long before even the simplest creature comforts could be offered, the newly named Task Force Hawk had to bring in heavy firepower to seal the air base's perimeter from possible attack. Not only from the Serbian army, but also from terrorists.
The terrorist levels that we've been warned about here in the country are probably assessed as some of the highest within the Balkans.
Protecting Task Force Hawk was priority number one.
Well, pretty much what we've done is we've interspersed tactical or armored vehicles here. We got Bradleys down over to the left-hand side. Their field of fire will reach all the way down to almost 3,000 meters down to those buildings in the distance where, you know, the terrain actually crests out.
I think you got sheep here by your tank, sir.
Infiltrators.
Oh, yeah, ceasefire. Next. Next. Give it up.
In spite of all the hardship, Task Force Hawk was still painfully growing into a frontier town of 5,000 residents. The Pentagon's promise of 10 days came and went, with the Apaches making it only as far as Italy. And NATO's Commander-in-Chief, General Wesley Clark, was facing some hard questions.
I can tell you that there wasn't anything other than military logistics and common sense planning and execution holding up this deployment. It certainly wasn't held up for any political reasons.
Whatever the reasons, the Apaches had certainly never tried anything like this before. These helicopters almost always fight together with ground forces, artillery, tanks, and other aircraft, each element protecting the other. But NATO had ruled out ground forces in Kosovo, so the Apaches would have to fly alone, across devilishly difficult terrain, right into the teeth of Serbian artillery and surface-to-air missiles.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Even the man in charge of Task Force Hawk, General John Hendricks, could not conceal his concerns.
Is this too difficult a mission for Apaches to take on in this way?
I mean, this is a doable mission, but it doesn't mean, by saying that it's a doable mission, it doesn't mean to say that it's not a difficult mission. And in my experience, any war that I've been in is tough, presents a lot of challenges. So I would say it's a doable, very, very challenging mission.
At the Pentagon, the doubts were deepest of all. The Joint Chiefs of Staff had actually agreed only to send the Apaches to Albania, not to let them into combat. Army Chief of Staff General Dennis Reimer.
And so it was a two-part decision.
Why in the world would you deploy them if you weren't sure that you could use them?
Well, because they bring a tremendous capability. And so we made the decision to deploy them there with the idea that they could be employed if the conditions were right.
Through it all, Task Force Hawk was struggling to its feet. Food was starting to taste a lot better.
What do you think this is doing for the guys?
Bringing that morale up a whole lot more, I'll tell you that. I know if you've been out here for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks like I have, you get tired of your MREs.
Looking good, looking good.
Wooden sidewalks were being laid down. Even showers were up and running. And after all the delays, the Apaches at last arrived in force. Waiting for them on the ground was a secret weapon.
Got a phone call saying that my services were needed overseas and to pack my bags.
A secret weapon named Brigadier General Dick Cody, who knows more about flying Apaches than anyone in the Army.
141 Nels Control.
This is a tough mission for attack helicopter because the terrain and the type of enemy we're fighting, the different dynamics on the battlefield that we're going to encounter.
2, 1, shot over.
If anyone could make this mission impossible succeed, it was Dick Cody. After all, he was the young lieutenant colonel who designed and led the first assault of the Gulf War in 1991.
Right now we're here to deter aggression, and if there is aggression, then to deal with the enemy as appropriate, and that's what we're trained to do as attack pilots.
It was called Task Force Normandy. 8 Apaches flying low and fast across the Iraqi border to completely destroy critical early warning Iraqi radar systems. With Saddam's defense blinded, the Gulf War was virtually over before it began, and Dick Cody was imagining a new kind of Apache war.
We have long said Apaches can go deep. We have long said that the Apache can penetrate the flot, as long as we create the right conditions for them to do it, and that's what really Task Force Hawk is all about.
The problem was the Apaches in Albania were already so deep in controversy, they were fast coming to symbolize the confusion and uncertainty of a war that seemed to have no clear plan. Was the Army's premier attack helicopter really up to such a dangerous challenge?
Hi, I'm the person who didn't save hundreds of dollars by switching car insurance. Yep, I'm the guy. Must be, because every day they tell me about a bazillion people who switched on TV, radio, billboards.
They show me entire stadiums worth of people who switched.
But Progressive Direct shows you side-by-side comparisons of competitors' rates and services, so you can see if their services are worth the savings. Those gazillion people should call Progressive, because no one likes to be wrong. Think easier. Think Progressive.
All right, guys, keep your eyes open. You don't know what you're gonna see. If you look to your right, you'll see a tropical rainforest, huh? Lucky day. To your left, a scantily clad native. Kung Pao.
There's no substitute for a real vacation. So call now to apply for the City Advantage card, and you'll be on a fantastic vacation in no time. That's because every dollar you spend on purchases earns you 1 American Airlines Advantage mile with no blackout dates.
We're seeing all sorts of things on this safari, kids.
Plus, you'll earn 20,000 Advantage bonus miles. So call now, 1-877-FLY-9400 to get started. You'll even get a free companion certificate with ticket purchase, all with no annual fee for 12 months.
Oh, kids, look! Caribou!
The City Advantage card. Turn everyday purchases into a real vacation.
Hey, look! A zebra!
Call City now to apply.
On the Military Channel.
We don't consider ourselves heroes.
Experience conflict through the eyes of those who were there.
I'm so happy to be home. It's so good to be free.
Tour of Duty, Mondays at 10, only on the Military Channel.
If you persevere through life and do the right thing, there's always an opportunity for you to turn things around and make a good life for yourself. While I was in the Navy, I attended ITT Tech, and upon graduation, I was recruited by Schlumberger. What I enjoy most about my job is that they recruit some of the best candidates from all over the world. So you get to work with some really intelligent people from different cultures and backgrounds. You need to live up to your potential. I carry that over to my children and really explain and reiterate to them how important it is to get an education. ITT Tech's curriculum is quite demanding. My wife and my children are my inspiration and drive in life. That's whom I live and work for.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, School of Electronics Technology, education for the future.
To find out more, call 1-800-553-5407. Get an education that can help you reach your goals. ITT Tech has information on financial aid programs for those who qualify. Call 1-800-553-5407 today.
Military Showcase presents 3 men. Who shaped the course of history. Their words. Their actions.
I have just completed a 14,000-mile trip.
And World War II. Through their eyes. Warlords, Thursday starting at 8, only on the Military Channel.
The Apache AH-64A attack helicopter, shown here training in Germany, is a world-class killing machine. But it has also had to live down an unsavory reputation as being downright unreliable.
Back when you cleared the strike to recovery runway 21.
Army figures show 51 serious crashes since the Apache went into operation, with 14 fatalities. First delivered to the Army in early 1984, the Apache suffered so many mechanical problems it became the subject of a scathing 1990 General Accounting Office report, which said the helicopters were under repair a full 50% of the time. That same year, when 288 Apaches were deployed to Saudi Arabia for the Gulf War, the manufacturer had to send along hundreds of maintenance specialists to babysit. But the complaints disappeared once the war started. In the 100 hours of Gulf War fighting, 15 Apache battalions claimed the destruction of 500 Iraqi tanks, 120 armored personnel carriers, 30 air defense units, 120 artillery pieces, and hundreds of Iraqi prisoners of war captured.
Roger, we got a whole bunch of guys throwing AK-47s up the air down here. Does that mean anything? Don't shoot them, shoot their equipment.
And the Apaches were there at the end, hanging over the highway of death when Iraqi soldiers tried to escape Kuwait City. The attack helicopter had finally earned its place as a cornerstone of U.S. Army battle plans. To understand why, look inside the armor plating designed to deflect even powerful ordnance. There is room for two pilots, the driver in the back seat, the commander in front, controlling most of the weapons.